People often ask me how often they need to update their will. And of course, they do it with a bit of a smirk because they know that lawyers are the ones helping to draft a will. And they're thinking, this guy's going to say every month I should be drafting a new will. But in fact, I would suggest there are a few times where you should definitely look at and update your will. The first few are going to be sort of surprising, and many people don't follow this advice. But when leaving the home as a young adult, that is a time where you would want a will that basically says that everything goes to your parents, sibling, best friend, I don't know. When you enter into a significant romantic relationship, common law married or married, you would want to update your will to have the main beneficiary be your spouse. Particularly important if you're common law married and not legally married, because there are differences in rights as to what your spouse would get if they're common law. That can be dealt with by way of your will. Your will can say everything goes to my spouse and avoid that problem. The next step, next time, would be when children enter your life. If you have children, it's time to update your will to add guardianship issues, to have them as beneficiaries if both you and your spouse die simultaneously. And issues pertaining to that, the guardianship issues would have how the finances go. If you're dealing with minor children, I'm a father of 3 minor kids, and I know in my will, the guardian also becomes the beneficiary in trust of my kids, of my entire estate and that of my wife. And for that, by doing it that way and at that time, it helps ensure that the children are adequately protected. When the children, if you have multiple children, when they all become adults, is another good time to be updating your will. If you have the unfortunate reality of going through a separation or a marital breakdown of any kind, permanent marital breakdown, very important to update your will at that time and to update the beneficiaries on various life insurance policies and other benefits to remove that individual. Last thing you want is to enter into an acrimonious divorce and then die a few years later and have the spouse who you hate getting all your stuff. And that does still happen. When you retire, when somebody becomes incapacitated, all these major life events, I would suggest you at least take your will out and take a look, see if it's covering the issues that you want it to cover. And if it's not, do go see a lawyer to make sure that you're dealing with your estate in the manner that you want to deal with, or the realities that you're facing at that time.